It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Fredy Siesel. You're here in your beautiful apartment in Jerusalem. And Fredy, you were born in France.
I born in France, in Alsace-Lorraine, near Strasbourg.
In what year?
I lived near Strasbourg.
And when were you born? In what year?
32.
In 32.
32.
In 1932.
Ken, I am today I am old man.
You're not. You're very young looking. You're amazing.
The Nazi came to this village where I am born, and all the Jews had to go to South France.
And Fredy, can I ask, did you come from a religious family? Were your parents?
Yes, my parents were religious, and my grandfather was Chazan, was very religious.
And were they also born in France? Were they many generations in France?
Many 200 years. My family lived in France, near Strasbourg. It was forbidden for the Jews to live in Strasbourg, in the town Strasbourg.
So they lived nearby?
Okay.
And did you have any brothers and sisters?
No. I had one sister. He married. He was 30 years old.
Mm-hmm. And Fredy, when you were growing up, did you go to a French school, or was there a Jewish school?
No, in this village, I went 1 year in a French school. After all my family went to Vichy. Vichy was the greatest city from France. You have France was
divided
into the north of France. Was directed from Germany, and the south till till 42 there was to the French people, where he was from directed from Pétain. You heard the line from Pétain, Ken. But many Jews came to Vichy because it's a great city. There is possible to to take flights. Okay. Vichy, I went to go to school.
A non-Jewish school.
Okay. There was no Jews school. Okay.
1 minute. Fredy, do you remember leaving your home and being transported to...
Transported to Vichy.
Do you remember?
Can. There was Jewish life in Vichy. Can. We went to synagogue and was Jewish butcher. Can. That was till Pesach 44. Can. And then the Pesach 44, my uncle here, Bloch, Benjamin Bloch.
I'll just show the picture. And this is his wife and his son.
Huh?
It's his wife and his son.
Can. Yes. Can. My uncle invited his sister with his family for the Seder, Pesach Seder. Okay? Middle of the night, his sister dreams that tomorrow the Nazi will come to take it with his family.
She had a dream.
A dream in the night. She told to his brother. A brother said, "See, that is a dream." I want to sleep again. But she takes his children and go to the house of her house. But the next day, the Germanim, the Nazi, came and take him to Auschwitz. My father, when he heard this, he took his family, my mother Zal and my sister, and we go with a bicycle to a farm in the forest, 20 kilometers from Vichy, and we lived there half a year in a farm alone.
And what happened to in Auschwitz? Did he survive, or did he survive the war? Your uncle, Mr. Bloch, what happened to him in Auschwitz?
The German killed him. Killed him, all the family.
He then took all the family.
Can.
So both the wife and the son were also killed. They were all killed.
Can, yes.
And where did you stay in the forest?
We were. There was a farm, a little house for us. Nobody knew that we are Jews. And we were half a year we lived there in this house.
It was your father, your mother, your sister, and you.
Yes, and another man who doesn't know where to go in.
And you took him as well?
Yes.
And what did you do for food?
Okay, but it's possible to. It was no farms. They are farmers. It's possible to buy food to the farmers.
And Fredy, what happened to the rest of the family? Your grandparents or your uncles and aunts?
Okay, no, my grandparents, the side of my father, my grandfather, is died during the war, but not because the war, because his age. A great father, the father of my mother, Zal, who went to Schweiz.
To Switzerland?
To Switzerland, yeah. We have some family there. The uncles who lived in Vichy went to also to little city.
Like villages, little villages.
Yeah.
And they survived? They managed to survive?
Yes. Yeah.
And can I ask, when you were in the forest, what did you do during the day? Did you...
I was 12. We learned, but all the Jewish books were in the it's not possible. We can leave this in the house if the German can come in.
They'll know you're Jewish.
You can.
And did your mother and father teach you and your sister? Did they? Were they teaching you a little bit?
There were a man. My father, who went to his job in Vichy.
And did you ever see any of the Germans? Did you ever see German soldiers or?
Yeah, no, there were no Germans, but the year 14, or by 14, the city of Vichy, they want that the Jews came to the and said that they are Jews. Yes. All the Jews went to go to the municipality and said they had Jews to keep to keep during the war, to keep eat
like coupons,
coupons for eat, as all the Jews said they are Jews. After this, came the Germany and want the name of all the Jews, and the French municipality gave it.
It was like a list of all the names.
Gave to the Germany the list of the Jews. So hundred families from Jews the Germans took 100 families Jews to Auschwitz.
They were deported.
Yeah.
And at this time, were you in the forest?
This time we were in the forest.
Thank God that you went.
Baruch Hashem.
If you wouldn't have gone to the forest, they would have taken...
It was
And was it very difficult in the forest? Was life very difficult?
Difficult, but it was possible to buy something to eat by the goy.
And how were the neighbors when they saw? Were they not suspicious that you were maybe Jewish or what you were?
There were two neighbors. It was a house alone. My father don't speak very well French. He's born in Alsace. You heard of Alsace? Alsace is it's near Germany. The people were sometimes French, sometimes German.
Sometimes German. It was on the border. It was
on the border. No, yes.
And did your father speak more German?
Ken, my father, Ken, who was in the school, German school, as he don't speak French very good. Ken. As who took to the neighbors that he don't speak French good, that who don't want to speak in Germany. Ken, but this Ken, the Tzofat.
So this is a map. We're going to just show. This is the map of.
The map. Yeah.
And this was the border.
And Strasbourg is here.
It's right on the border with Germany.
Ken.
Yeah.
And Vichy is in.
It's in the south.
South French. Vichy is here. Ken. They took Shimon.
It's 80,000.
Jews in all France. Ken.
80,000 were deported, and the majority were killed. The majority.
Ken you were all.
And how long did you stay? Did you stay in the forest till the end of the war?
Ken, till the end of the war.
You were in the forest.
Yes.
And did any of
was Ken?
Did any of the
was half a year. Ken.
Did any of the French neighbors help you, or?
Good. Ken, I don't know. They don't know we are Jews. Ken.
So they never knew you were Jewish.
No.
And what do you remember of the end of the war? What do you remember when the war ended?
I remember, Ken, the day we went from Vichy, the town, to the forest. I remember this.
You remember it?
Ken, my father had no car. The Jews had no car. It was impossible to find petrol. As we had each people had a bicycle.
And you remember riding the bicycle to the forest?
Yes, I remember.
And Fredy, what is your earliest recollections? What do you remember as a child? Your earliest things that you remember? Were you happy growing up as a child, as a young child? You were happy in France when you were very young?
Yes.
And after the war, what happened? You went from the forest back to...
Back to our flat in Vichy, but the Goyim took all what were our things.
And how long did you stay in Vichy after the war?
20 years.
You were in Vichy?
Yes, because it was impossible for my father to go back to Alsace. My father had some who sold for kitchen, and during the war, the German destroyed this. As who couldn't go back.
And what did you do in Vichy? Did you go to school?
You school. With Goyim.
And did they know you were Jewish?
Yes. Yes. After the war. They do. I don't go on Shabbat in the school. At school.
And did you ever have any anti-Jewish feelings? Did they?
Yes. I don't go to shul Shabbat, and there was a rabbi, and we learned Jew.
But did any of the non-Jewish children, were there any anti-Semitic? Did they ever want to fight you, or did they say any? Was there any anti-Semitism? Any neged Yehudi?
Well, after the war.
After the war.
Well, but no, not many anti-Semites. Okay. After I learned I am dental practice officinarium.
A dentist.
Dentist can. You would, sir?
And, yeah. And where did you study?
In France, in Marseille. Okay. You had a practice in.
Sure. And Fredy, can I just ask, when you studied and when you went to school, did any of the French children ask what happened during the war, or what happened to you, or was anybody interested to ask you?
No, after the war, no.
Did you speak to your parents?
Yeah, also from Polish. From 3,000 Jews came back from Auschwitz to France. maybe
Yeah.
3,000.
3,000 out of 80,000
80,000
were deported.
came, and 3,000 came back. It's not, came. But they don't tour after the war. They don't told what happened there. They don't want to tour what happened in Auschwitz.
And when did
It
you...
was so
traumatic.
yeah.
And Fredy, when did you hear about what had happened with the camps and with Auschwitz? When did you know, or when did your family know?
During the wars, I don't know.
They didn't know.
No. After the war, one man from Vichy who came back to Vichy after that, but he didn't do all the Jews, they killed the Jews. They don't know. They don't kill. They don't.
And how do you feel that there were French that saved Jews, but there were many French that collaborated with the Nazis, with the Germans?
Yes.
It's very difficult. In
Yeah.
France it was very difficult.
But I know there are a lot of Jews now in France. Alors, you learn dentist in
Yeah. And did you always want to come to Israel?
No, I am here 45 years.
Wow. But you always wanted to come?
I had practice in the city, Hillel Street.
And really, can I just ask, when you grew up, did you feel that you were very French, or did you feel you were more Jewish? Or
No, more Jewish. You feel you are Jewish, and French it's not for you, for us.
And when did you decide you want to come to Israel? Did you always want to, or?
I was in Bnei Akiba. There was also in South.
Israel, sure.
Yeah.
And here in Israel, did you remain friend? Did you have connections with other survivors?
We have many friends who speak French.
And what happened to your sister and your parents?
My sister, my sister
She died.
Died.
But where, did she die in France, or did she come here as well?
No, she died in France.
And your parents?
And my parents also died in France. After this, I came to Israel. Yeah.
And Fredy, if I can ask you, what message do you give to? What message do you give to people?
Can the Jews have to live in Israel? That is, can also you came also here.
And
that is our land.
And Fredy, did you always remain religious? You always had emunah, and you always remained dati. You were always religious.
Most of my family are religious.
But you kept your emunah. You always had emunah.
Yes. My education was Jews. I went to. I don't go to Jewish school. There was not Jewish, but we went to on Sunday and Tuesday. There was no school, and we went to Jewish school. Talmud Torah.
And did you know there was a very famous Rabbi Guggenheim?
You heard of Rabbi Guggenheim?
I know it very good. You know it?
It's very well known, very well known.
Who is in Paris?
He was the chief rabbi. For many generations, they were chief rabbis of...
Yes. His wife is my cousin.
Sure, so and do you still have family in France? Today? Is there...
Cousin.
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 And you go back to France? Do you still go back?
Well, I can. I was 3 years ago.
So, Fredy, I just want to thank you very, very, very much.
Please.
I just want to, I'm so grateful to you. If I can just thank you. Well, so Fredy, I'm very grateful to you. Thank you so much. It's been such an honor and a privilege to be with you. And Toda Rabah, you should only have mazel. You are so young looking, and you should only have mazel brocha ad Maya Vesrim till 120.
Thank you very much.
In good health and in happiness. And thank you very, very much.
Kindly cut this.
Sure, I will. But Fredy, all the very best. And